If you grew up with childhood trauma, you might have ended up with a tendency to overshare, to tell people too much about yourself, even when you don't know them that well. And then you might regret it or feel shame or actually put your safety in jeopardy. And you may have noticed it's hard to change this. It just happens. But I want to tell you 9 things that whatever you do, just don't share these, all right? You can memorize these things or you can write them down, but it's important to know why we overshare, because this is where you can do some healing and then have choices about what you tell others. So let me first tell you why we do it, all right? Oversharing doesn't come out of being naive or stupid. It may feel that way, but that's you judging yourself. For people who have lived with trauma, it's often driven by a need to process our experiences by thinking out loud. Doesn't that make sense? Doesn't that help? Like, I just need to say this out loud. I'm getting kind of jammed up. Neglect and abuse make it harder to process thoughts and feelings. That can be like a lifelong condition until you heal. Experiences will continue to give you a stress response every time you think about them, long after they should have turned into memories. That's what unhealed trauma does. We're also sometimes seeking validation or trying to get a sense of control over something that feels very chaotic. So our ability to regulate emotions gets damaged by trauma, and we end up communicating in a way that's unfiltered or abrupt and impulsive. So sometimes we're feeling so much pain and anxiety, we're just grasping at straws, telling other people what's going on. We're losing our boundaries out of sheer need for a feeling that someone understands us. There's a lot of mental noise when you've lived through trauma. So it's natural to need to make sense of what's happened and what you're feeling. And it's an effort to feel better. That's where it's coming from. So no judging yourself. It's just, it's kind of a normal side effect, but it creates problems, right? The problem is that instinct to hand over every detail about yourself creates imbalance with other people. And it can lead to the perception that you're not trustworthy, that you're unstable. I hate that word. That you're needy, and, some people even find it annoying. So instead of building the connection we're seeking, it can push people away.